So turn down the lights, lock the door. It's time for DJs After Dark.
Here we go.
Hey everybody, Danny J here along with Rob Cannon,
Hey.
Dr. Rock Ray Thomas, and Fast Eddie C. It's DJs After. How you doing? It's DJs After Dark. Hope everybody's ready to have a great time tonight. Remember, you can check us out on all podcast formats, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Caster, Radio Blast, and much, much more, as well as go to DJB Productions on YouTube. That's the silverhead with the glasses and the headphones. Subscribe, and you'll be able to check us out on YouTube as well. Once again, thanks for joining us this week. Gentlemen, how is everybody this evening?
Doing well.
Very good. My sugars are up, but I'm all right.
His sugars are way up.
My
You know
sugars
what
are way
that
up.
means, right?
It means I'm very sweet.
Yes, he's a
Very,
sweet
very
man.
sweet. So anyway, do you ever be doing a wedding, and when you're trying to get a dance floor going, and there's like a rotund amount of toddlers running around the dance floor?
Honestly, I just did a job like that tonight with Ed, and I was telling Ed, I just wish the parents would control the kids. You know, it gets to the point where like our job's way harder, and then it looks like it's our fault. You understand what I mean?
Well, you know what though, I think at these parties,
parents have a good time,
right? And that's exactly what I was about to say. I think they go to these parties, and they think, yeah, let the kids run around, and that's it, good to go, and I'm going to get tanked.
Yeah, let the kids be entertained by the DJ. Maybe he can start.
Yeah,
like,
touch the speakers.
Yeah.
I love when they let the kids get close enough to where they're grabbing the stands of the speakers.
I got one. How about this, guys? You ever been to a job like that? Same idea. Not only are the kids running around making it hard for you to do your thing, then the parent brings the kid up, like the person like who hired us. A lot of times this will happen, or I'm doing a wedding and they're gonna be like, "Yo, Johnny, what do you want to hear, little Johnny? Oh yeah, you got any you know."
Boy.
Who? No.
Why does Johnny sound like an 18-year-old dope fiend? Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Johnny's
Danny,
Tartar,
does this
man.
sound better, Danny? Can you play Meek Mills,
No, that
Mr.
sounds like
DJ?
three of Rob's ex-wives.
Meek Mills, I want to hear Meek.
How many years is Meek?
But you get my point? Like the
Yep,
point I'm
exactly.
making is parents try to turn it into a night for their kids when it's really about the bride and groom and the people that are there. Technically, you know, I think it's...
I mean, there's a reason why they tell you a lot of times, don't invite kids to your wedding.
Yes.
There really is a lot.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree. And I love kids, and you all know that.
Because here's what happens at a wedding. Here's what happens at a wedding. You're getting dressed up.
I enjoyed it because I got extra cash.
Right, but here's what happens at a wedding. You're getting dressed up, right? You're getting tanked. You might get laid either by the girl you brought with you or the guy you brought with you or the DJ, one or the other. So I threw that in there because DJs aren't getting as much love as they used to anymore, right?
Ain't no love.
And at the end of the night, the next day, you got to be walking the walk of shame. So, like, having your children with you is just a bad idea to begin with.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
To tell your husband you're pregnant at a wedding reception. All right.
Yeah.
It's all over again.
Don't get me wrong, Dan. What I think, honestly, is kids are okay at weddings as long as the parents just have control of them. You know, but they don't like weddings. Kids really are bored at a wedding.
They're bored at anything, if you get honestly. Because when you think about it, kids like especially when they're a young age, especially the young age we're talking about, which is like that toddler age.
Right.
You can give them cardboard and they're fucking totally ecstatic for the next 5-10 minutes.
No, not nowadays. You give them a
Your
computer,
kids maybe not, because your
computer.
kids are all like completely
Completely.
ADD. But
I know you're an expert with the children there, Rob. They call you Uncle Rob at the wedding reception. So.
Yes.
yeah, funny story though. I was walking down the street, and a bunch of 20-something-year-olds were driving down. It was a bunch of girls, right? 20-something girls. They were driving up the street, and they all screamed out the door, "Hey, Uncle Danny!" It turns out they were like my niece's friends, and they all call me Uncle Danny. My wife's like, "You are such a crumb."
Like it's his fault.
I was like, "What?" I didn't tell you I'm tagging all them. I know, right? Tell me about it. Oh my goodness. But like, it's one of those things where like, you know, you're trying to get a dance floor going as it is, and let's face it, enough blame is put on the DJ as it is.
Yeah.
When all we're doing is
He
working.
didn't play any of
We're
our
working with your
songs.
shit. We're not working with our shit. You know.
Right.
You know. So I don't know. It's one of those things where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
So Ray.
Yes.
Real quick, why don't you tell us a story you must have had that was involving that problem? Anything?
Sure. It's somewhere that you sent me. So I'm going to go back in my recollection to go back, and I will tell you. I remember one time we went to this one thing, and it was a thing where the DJ was up on the stage. This is classic. And
And they were running up.
why don't you go over and dance? The DJ is going to play some stuff and all for you. And it was like right when you first get there and you're like doing like a sound check or something. She goes, "Can you play something for these kids?" And you're going, "Yeah, you know, you're beautiful. You got the IQ of a can of tennis balls." The idea is now you're up on the stage, and now the kids are running up the stage, up the steps, down the steps, jumping off the stage, and everything like that. And you're thinking, "My God, this is going to be a lawsuit waiting to happen." And the mom, "Oh my God, this is so cute. Watch Johnny jump off the stage." So, and you're trying to do your job because now, you know, people are coming in, you're playing background music. She comes and says to you, "Can you play something for the kids?" And it's not the kids' affair. It's the people that hired
Right.
you.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it too.
Do you ever notice though too when these kids are dancing, like you want to go up to them and be like, "Hey, who the fuck taught you how to dance like that?"
Exactly. You know, like, you know,
Like,
dance.
what's that
All right.
fucking one move you keep repeating 75 times in a row? I'm not playing
Right.
any more music
Now-
for you.
Now, Ed, you
Yeah.
been to jobs with me plenty of times. The one we did tonight too, but
Right.
other times. I mean, what's your worst nightmare story you can actually remember?
I actually remember this. We actually did a bar mitzvah.
Oh, boy.
And same scenario as Ray just said, we were up on the stage. And the kids got completely out of control. Matter of fact, I think it was not too far from your home we did this job. They literally ripped down all the ceiling tiles in the hall. I don't know if you remember. They were ripping the ceiling tiles out.
What institution did you play?
My God.
Seriously, the father came up to you, Rob. I don't know if you remember this or not. He came up to you and he said, "That's it. Cut the music," because apparently the father was responsible for all the damage.
That's when you
And
play
they-
that. That's when you play that rap version of Hava Nagila.
You mean
Right.
about this, Rob? That when we were doing this, because you actually were going to stop it,
Right.
and then you
I
know,
barely.
And then Rap
What-
got distracted by one of the girls.
What year was this?
Oh,
God, dude, this is going back many years. Jeez, I can't even remember. But I do specifically remember it because we had to carry the equipment up about 6 flights of stairs outside and then in. If that'll give you a hint of where it was at.
That'll also. It was the one where you booked a bat mitzvah and at the same time booked a date with the same girl.
Oh.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember that,
You said,
yeah.
"Yo, we can watch
God.
Power
Yeah,
Rangers."
That's right. I remember that same girl. She called me back and said she couldn't go because she was on a date with Danny J.
That's right.
I'm like that little bastard.
Ah,
Damn.
on YouTube.
That's how we met each other. We were cruising to middle schools together.
Right.
Rob's like, "So I am a DJ and
Oh
I
my
drive
God.
a van."
We're kidding.
I know you are. Yeah.
He's like, "I drive a van."
Yeah, so anyway, that's really what drives me crazy about that.
Right there. That was actually the father paid you in full, I believe, and actually gave you a tip because he came up. He stopped it like an hour and a half early.
Wasn't
Yeah,
nice?
Yeah.
That was
See,
insane.
Rob, they paid you to go away.
So, just out of everybody's opinion, we'll start out with Dan. Dan,
Right.
in all honesty, as a parent, as a DJ,
Yeah.
how would you like get that under control? Like, basically, what do you recommend to the parents out
Close
there?
my eyes.
No, like, what do you say to the,
Well,
you can't really say
you can't say
anything.
nothing. You can't say nothing because parents, and take it from a parent. And you're a parent of adult
Yeah.
kids, so I mean it's a little
Yeah.
different for you now. But as a parent of like children, my kids are teens and preteens. You know, you automatically are on defense when someone wants to say something about your kid or whatever the case is. And the only thing you can say is, and the only time I ever do say something is when I get close to my equipment.
Yeah.
Because they'll start
Oh, yeah.
climbing up on the
Coming behind.
or coming behind, or they climb up on top of the speaker stand. So God forbid, you know,
Yeah.
speaker 65 pound speaker falls on somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
God forbid, that'll hurt an adult, let alone a kid.
Yeah, squash one.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where you're just gonna be like, yeah, I just can't have the kids up here. It's a say. I usually say, listen, it's an insurance thing,
Right.
so it doesn't even look like I really care that much. But it's like, hey, this is a legal thing. I need your kids away from me.
Real quick, you just reminded me of a story of a job I was doing. One time I was doing this job, not that long ago actually, and the parents actually let the kid stand behind my thing when I was trying to get the kid out. Stand behind and let him, oh, you don't mind him there, little Johnny? I'll be back. I'm thinking to myself, they left me to babysit this kid. You cut out. Go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
No, I said usually when you have your thing out, things usually happen anyway. So
I didn't have my thing completely out.
The kid was doing a mic check.
I said, Johnny, have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Really? You don't want to see this one.
Remember that movie?
Yeah, Airplane.
That was
Oh, my goodness.
movie, man.
You know, but that's what I said to Dan when I first met him. I said, Dan, you ever seen a grown man naked?
I said, yeah, now I have.
Oh, I forgot. We tried.
Yes.
You know.
Anyway, we're kidding.
I later on went to Lisa and I said, how do you fucking sleep with this guy? I seen him naked. I know you have.
Damn.
I love it when the mom is an absolute knockout. She's got like 3 kids that came to the thing, and they're running around like a crazy, like they're running around in a circle.
You're like, whatever you want. You're
Like,
whatever you want.
like you could be the next one if you want, you know. And,
And the parents come up. They're saying, I'm sorry about little Jim.
Isn't it distracting though when there's like hot moms at
Oh
these
my God.
gigs? Like, you know, you're not supposed to interact with them whatsoever, but like
she's bending down trying to get the kids some
Rob
potatoes.
and I did a
falling out of her dress.
Rob and I did a wedding one time. It was down in the city, and this was the one where they had all the uplighting,
Yeah.
right? And the bride was
What's
gorgeous.
that's
The bride was gorgeous.
the
Which one?
Egyptian one?
No.
Mixed?
No.
Okay, another one?
This was we were in Center City,
Right.
and it was all the pink uplighting
Right,
and
right.
real beautiful room. I have pictures on our website and stuff like that for
I
it.
think that's
But it wasn't a mixed wedding, no.
Click on and see if it
And
works.
the bride was gorgeous. I mean, the bride was fucking gorgeous. And I'm not talking like gorgeous, like, oh, that's a nice looking girl. I'm talking like, yo,
Dan, was she gorgeous?
you want to hit that. You want to hit that, right? But then her bridesmaids were just as hot as she was. She didn't have not an ugly one in the bunch, right? Because
the guests were pretty.
even the guests were like, yeah, you wanted to like just run around with your dick and like being led by your crotch the whole time. Be like yelling, mic check, mic check, mic check, you know. I had to tell Rob to stop doing that because he was trying to scare people away.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, them incidents suck. But so Ray, you were saying partially how you handle it.
Ed, what are you looking at?
I interrupted you.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt this conversation. Ed, what are you looking
No,
at?
I mean, you kind of handle it, but what people have.
Ray,
to
wait a second, Ray. Ed,
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
what are you looking at?
Um,
You're staring at the ceiling.
He's studying.
I thought he was in a trance for a second. I said, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm mostly,
Number 9.
You know. All right.
I'm multitasking here.
All right.
so.
Hold on. Let me just say something
Easy.
to our audience, if you're listening, whoever's listening. So here's the thing.
Wow, there's some fucking confidence right there.
No. I'm just saying to whoever's listening. So basically,
He's like, if you're listening.
right now, Ray's at home, and he's like, we called him up to interrupt him to join our show, so
Yeah.
he didn't have to come here.
Yeah.
So we're doing it where we could see them, but you guys can't. So you're
Because
just
it's audio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
you had to
it's just a
explain that.
podcast. Yeah, but the point is, they think maybe that
Rob
they're
had to
all
explain that.
here.
Wait a minute. They can't see my pretty.
It doesn't
bottom?
matter. Like Ed was staring off into space up. I thought he was getting
Yeah,
seen.
and it's good
I
that
thought he
they're
was
not
seeing like
seeing it.
an angel or something.
So Ed's also at home.
I thought Ed was going to the light. It was just like,
No, Ed, we didn't get to finish. Let's talk about our.
No, get them back to Ray because Ray. I interrupted
yeah,
Ray.
go ahead.
Ray.
Yeah,
I'm
what
sorry.
what did you want from Ray? And do me a favor, just call me Dr. Rock because it's an ego thing.
Okay.
But
Oh, fuck.
Nurse Cratchit.
Ah.
no,
I'm
but
listening.
I totally agree with you. But what people have to understand too is when a DJ goes out, it's hard enough being a DJ. It is.
Yeah,
it's hard enough being a DJ, especially when you're going to do a thing where you have all different age groups and you're trying to make everybody happy. And when you throw those kids into the circle of that, and you can't do your job because the kid like is running over your 75-pound speaker because they've seen American Ninja Warrior yesterday.
Yeah, and they're all parkour experts.
Everybody's all pumped up because what did they have? They had the cookies from the table.
That's right, the sweet table.
So
That's
all
right.
of a sudden, like, Johnny looks like Johnny is an acrobat. All right, that's exactly what it looks like. And the thing is, it's hard enough for a DJ being a DJ, and I understand. I love parents and bring their kids and all, but you have to remember sometimes, not in a mean way, to keep your kids under control. Try to keep them in a social circle where
This is what I like. I don't like kids. All right.
I love kids.
I don't
kids
like kids. I like my kids.
He likes
half the
making
time.
kids.
Half the time I
Kids
like my
like
kids.
Hippie Pop. They're fun to
But
make.
I don't
Right.
like kids at an event. And couples get in an argument before you come to the party, because that way, if I'm flirting with your wife, it's going to get somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like have this go into like a cul-de-sac where nothing's happening. I got to turn around and go the other way.
And then your wife, and then your wife is with Rob trying to put his laptop wire.
Poor woman's uterus fell out.
Putting in wire. So go ahead.
She's running around all lark because her uterus fell out.
And
Ed,
did you prep any news for us today?
Ed, you got news?
I'm looking for now. I'm just
Or
going
tonight.
through the headlines and
Thanks for prepping, Ed. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did prep, but I ran out of ink this morning.
Ed has so much shit done except for the job that we gave him.
Yeah.
Stop. That's what I'm doing right now.
It's like I wallpapered the entire house today, but I didn't get your news.
It kind of reminds me of Stevie Wonder with his head going
He's going
up.
back and forth. He's staring
Like
up into
this.
space. What the fuck is that doing?
Stop.
Hey.
Anybody excited? Anybody been watching the Marvel movies and stuff like that, and keeping up on this? Because now Disney, the Disney Fox merger is going through.
Oh, it is? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's going through. Comcast, which was the only main competitor for that, put a bid that was significantly under what Disney put in. And I want to say it was somewhere in a range of $75 billion. I don't know exactly the number, but it was around $75 billion. And they're going to now be able to obtain all the Fox properties, which include X-Men, which includes Fantastic Four, which includes a large number of characters which were omitted from the Marvel MCU up until this point.
Now, Dan, I got a question for you. Guardian of the Galaxy, is that part of Marvel also?
That's in the MCU, yes. That's
Okay.
Disney.
Tron.
Tron? Tron
Yeah.
was a Disney movie from the beginning.
Okay. Well, because I was just actually reading on one of the Disney blogs, because I'm going to be going there in a couple of weeks. They're building a new roller coaster. It's called the Guardian of the Galaxies, and also they're building a Tron roller coaster.
Tron would be really, really cool as far as a roller coaster.
You see, I can pull up a picture. Well, you can't. I can show it to you guys.
But
I
Tron was a Disney movie to begin with.
Okay.
If you remember, if you go back, you're talking about with Jeff Bridges and all. That was Disney to begin with.
Right.
But
They're
Guardians of the Galaxy is a really good set of movies. They're making a third one.
Mhm.
James Gunn, who was the director, apparently was terminated based on Twitter comments he made or something like that. So there's a big uproar about him not being involved with the movies now. But a lot of people are also suspecting that it's going to be Disney saying, yeah, we slapped his wrist, and then for some other reason he'll be able to come back. We don't know, but like,
Right.
because a lot of the actors are in an uproar too about saying, hey, we want him to be the director.
Right.
You know, because he has a theme going, he has something going. And let's face it, any movie that comes out, when you change directors, you're changing the whole theme of the movie in a sense.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that was a big thing. But it's very exciting if you're like a Marvel, if you're a comic book person, that type of thing, because we're talking 10, 12 years now. We're invested in the MCU. And, you know, now to have X-Men come in and then to be able to reboot some of this stuff, and then we're going to get new Avengers because the old Avengers are going to go out. It's going to be it's an exciting time to go into Phase 4,
No doubt.
which is what they're talking about. So
Well, I feel like I'm listening to Cisco and Ebert. What was the
Rob watches nothing.
Right.
Rob has no idea what we're talking about.
I know. Right.
Oh dear.
No.
Did I break wind?
Alrighty then.
But it's like when it's Ed. Do you have more news? That was my one thing to stall for you.
Yeah, for you, Eddie.
For you, Ed.
What
You're bringing my show to a fucking complete halt.
Yes,
All right.
Eddie. All right. Well, anyway.
We've only been in the studio, Ed, for 2
Well,
hours now.
while Ed's looking, I got something we could tell everybody.
What are you gonna tell?
How we
Your
were
phone
trying
number?
to do our YouTube thing,
Yeah, we were trying to do YouTube,
and
Oh,
you advertised that we were doing it, and
I
we
did.
never did do it.
and we never did do
But
it.
let's
And
explain to why.
here's what happened. And
You
the
keep
video's
looking
been
at it.
deleted already, so don't even think you're gonna find it. 'Cause
Yeah.
We got rid of it.
And if you got to see it,
If you got to
sorry
see it, then you
you.
can't share it to anybody. It's
No.
gone.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do some specials in the future where we're going to do some live DJs After Dark. We're going to do them up here on YouTube, and we'll let everybody know when that happens, that type of thing. But we try to do it, and for the life of us, we could not get it to where everybody could be heard or seen. And we're trying not to have everybody in the studio at once.
Thank you for the 12,000 likes. We had a blast.
Yeah, I know. I know, right? I know. You know, but like it's one of those things where we at a certain point I just said, fuck everything. I said, just delete all this and we're going back to podcasts just for this week. We're going to take care of some episodes and get some.
All you
episodes
heard
done.
was Rob saying, "Hold on, I'm going to hang up and call you back."
In the time I heard that phrase, it must have been about 75 times today.
Well, you know, Ray, isn't it better than saying it's less than an hour? It's less than
It's less than an hour.
Yeah.
Because guess
You know-
what? It was more than an hour.
Your wife, when me and Dan went over there, and she's like, "How long is this going to take?" Dan and me both said, "It's going to be less than an hour. Don't worry about it."
I said, if Rob goes first, it's going to be less than a couple minutes.
2 cars just passed me, and they just yelled out, "I'm going to call you back."
I'm going to call you back. I'm calling you back.
No.
The
Joanne-
funny thing
Joanne,
was,
we're
Ray
kidding
Ray
you.
was like, "Oh, we're excited. We're going to go live." Ray told Joanne, he said, "Get on there, check it out." You know what I mean? She's probably the one that was the one that
And you know what?
viewed it.
She gave me her typical answer. Oh, all right, cool. She wasn't to me one iota.
All I could say
She
is,
didn't even go near a computer. She's like, "Fuck him."
I'm like glad Dan's here, Ray, because then if she said, "All right," Dan was over your place anyway.
Joanne's
so,
paying us a stipend to babysit you, Ray. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
She's
She would never do that. Would
She's
she,
like, "Can you just take care of this guy for a few minutes?" I had enough.
Ray? That's funny. But anyway, so we're hoping to get that working, and we're hoping that it will.
Yeah,
be
we're going to do
working
that. We'll
soon.
do some specials. It'll
In
be
early
fun.
2019.
The cool thing about that would be that when you go to view it on when you view a live video, you also have a chat that you can interact with.
Right.
So you can actually be watching and chat with us, which will be good,
Right.
and be able to like ask us questions live while we're on the show, which is kind of cool. So we plan on doing that in the future.
Now, like, we really don't know that much. So
Nah,
it's
man. Ask
just
what you
trying
want.
to-
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're just trying to get this.
Yeah, we're trying to get it
together.
situated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ed, do you have any news for us?
Actually, I was just looking, Dan.
Didn't you just say
How
that?
about Ed? How about that?
I'm
John
going to call you
McCain?
back, Ed. I'm going to call you back.
How about John McCain not wanting the president to be at his funeral?
Oh man, here we go, touching on politics.
No,
You know?
we're not going to stay there. I'm just saying. That's just crazy.
I went with something nice, and Rob
Yeah,
goes
that-
with
that-
something
that's
that's
great,
on
too.
CNN.
You know what I mean?
You know, the president does watch the show, though.
Yeah, he
You know,
does. Yes,
He's
yes.
our biggest. He's one of our bigger listeners.
He's the one subscriber.
I need a job.
Oh, also, you know who else listens?
Does he? Okay, I thought you were serious. I knew I was
Ed
gonna
used to tell us, don't cut up him because he listens to
because he listens to this show. Yeah, yeah. He said, yeah. I'm sure he listened to all that stuff. He was waiting with bated breath.
I'm sure he's going to come back with a Twitter.
I really wish they would get on.
Oh, jeez. So, Dan, real quick, because we're running out of
We
time.
are running out of time.
And then the next show we're going to be talking
The
about...
next show we'll have news.
Yeah, that too. But the next show, we're going to also...
Fucking Ed.
Ed's going to give
That's your
everybody...
new name, fucking Ed.
The taste
Bob's
of how
gonna tell you how he
smart...
calls back.
How smart Dan is with the cartoons by just playing their theme.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun.
I don't think Ray and me are going to do good in that.
I think you guys will do pretty good. I think Ray will do good. Ray, you watch TV, didn't you?
I love 60s and 70s cartoons.
All right, so it's going to be kind of like between me and Ray. Rob might find one or two because based on his dates, he usually has cartoons on in the background.
Just yell out Steamboat Willie. You'll be okay.
All right, so that is what we're going to talk about on the next show. That and some other things, but just to draw some interest there for you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And now if you hire us for like a live video thing, we know exactly what we're doing. So
we can do it.
Yeah.
We can
What a
do
train wreck that'll be. I'll call you back.
Hang up again.
Actually, I think once we get it down, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And you guys are going to probably have a lot of fun with it also.
Yeah, you will. Like I said, we're going to be able to interact with us, which is kind of cool. We'll be able to be viewing the chat live and be able to answer you live on the show, which is going to be really cool. All this is on the YouTube channel, which is DJB Productions. That's with the Silverhead glasses and big headphones. Make sure you subscribe. Share it to your friends, too. I'm trying to get the subscriptions up. And obviously, we're also on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Caster, Radio Blast, and many, many more podcast formats, which is all courtesy of Anchor.fm, as well as whenever we promote it. So you can obviously on Facebook and whatnot look up Ed Cufaro, Dr. Rock, Ray Thomas.
Hello.
Ray, you can, Ray, I was about to say Ray again. Rob Cannon.
Dr. Rock.
Rob Cannon, or as I was referring to, Rib Cannon.
To me is Rib.
Rib Cannon. Rib Cannon. So you know what? Because I was texting Rob yesterday. I was texting Rob yesterday, and my thumb was too big for the keyboard on my phone, and it was I kept on. It was RIB instead.
He was using.
Yeah, I was using my penis. That's what he wanted me to say.
TMI, listeners.
So
TMI.
so he goes. So it was like, hey Rib, blah 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 blah. Then I said ugh. Then I tried to correct and say Rob, and it said Rib again. And then in capital letters, I'm like, fucking ugh, Rob. Like that. So
He's doing much better since he got out of the clinic.
Yeah.
Much better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what they keep telling me.
Thank you.
But we're going to have some good stuff next week, as well as we might have some hidden guests, which are going to come on next week. Yes, we're going to have some hidden guests. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna,
surprises.
Are we going to still do a thing with the girls that you were saying?
What, getting strippers?
No, the girls.
The girls. The girls that run
The landing strip.
There's landing strip. They're wonderful girls. That's Eva and Christy. We did do actually a show.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the audio went bad. There was something technical in the studio on, I don't know if it was their part or our part, but we lost half the audio in the playback. We didn't have half the audio. So that show got deleted, unfortunately. We had a great time. We were talking to them for like an hour and a half.
Funny.
It was and it was a funny show, too, so now we got to repeat all that shit. Like, I give them transcripts and have them repeat word for word what they said in the last show. But we're going to hook something up with the landing strip. You can check them out, too. They're also on all the different podcast formats. It's a funny, funny show. It's two girls. They're hairdressers out of North Jersey. And they tell you stuff that, like, just pertains to what they see in life, and which is what we try and do with our show here, which is why the shows mix so well. Yeah. So we're going to check that out as well. And like I said, we're going to have some special guests on. And then, of course, I have the returns of Dr. Rock Ray Thomas, Fast Eddie C, Rib Cannon. Rib Cannon. He hasn't seen his ribs in 43 years.
Oh, I can't wait till he gets fat.
I'm getting fat. I'm learning right now.
Because he was coming out of the gym. So,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was coming out of the gym. You know what they? No, I was coming out of the gym. They had him by his pants and his neck, and they threw him the fuck out. They said, "Get the hell out of here. Here's your $10, you fuck."
No, what was it? Planet Fitness said you can't grunt. It wasn't grunt. It was Rob actually
They
breathing.
said this is They said this is Planet Fitness, not Planet Death.
Planet Hollywood. Anyway. All right.
Anyway, so hopefully next week Ed will have some news.
Yes, hopefully.
Hint, Ed, have some news next week.
Anyway.
Do the job proposed to you.
Yes, Eddie. We love you.
Yes.
It's
When you
short
do the
sex.
fucking job proposed to you.
Hey, listen.
Stop staring at the fucking ceiling.
He's
I'm
so
not.
sexy.
Camera.
He's like getting hypnotized. I think he's joining a cult.
I think so.
I think he's joining a cult. Look at his eyes. He's all demonic now. Look at him.
You're trying to hit the city.
Right. I know.
Anyway,
All right, guys. So for Rob Cannon,
yo,
Dr. Rock Ray Thomas,
Hello.
and Fast Eddie C, my name is Danny J. Join us next time for another edition of DJs After Dark. Dark.
Looks like the sun's coming up. Was that as good for you as it was for me? Join us next time for DJs After Dark.